bra, she had hair extensions, fake eyelashes. She was told to suck it in before she went on set, and she said although she was
I
grateful.
doubt it. I seriously doubt they told her that. Oh my
The oral
God,
editor
it's too
of
much.
Talk TV, Sarah Hewson. Sarah, thank you for your time this evening. Let's start with Meghan. The Duchess of Sussex says she felt objectified while working as a model on the US game show Deal or No Deal. Meghan has revealed how she felt in her latest podcast that I just don't understand this. I mean, this was a role where she basically stands there and opens a briefcase. So she's there for.
Honest to God, I feel like Megan is trying to tell us, hey, look, I did what every normal girl does. I go out there and I objectify my body and it doesn't feel right. So basically she's telling you and the rest of the world that um sometimes a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And in this case, we're talking about like the present. She's really trying to tell us, look, like whatever is going on, with life and me, like I still like am not happy about it.
Her looks and nothing else. And yet she says, I felt objectified. How's this whinge being received in the UK?
Yeah, evening to you, Rita. Good to see you. Yeah, so Meghan, in her latest podcast, has been talking about the archetype bimbo. She's talking to Paris Hilton about it, and she described her time when she got an early break in her career as a briefcase girl on Deal or No Deal.
That show was the absolute most nuisance of shows. It really was. For women, we were like, our husbands wanted to watch the show and we were over it. It was like every damn night. So, the way she came off to the rest of the world is, you're a bimbo, honey, especially if you're on that show, because nothing but guys wanted to watch that show.
Deal. And she said that she wasn't there because of her brains. She was there for her look. She was given vouchers to go and have a spray tan. She was told to wear a push-up bra. She had hair.
Those are some fake boobs, and I can tell you right now that she got them over the muscle, and that's why they look so phony.
Extensions, fake eyelashes. She was told to suck it in before she went on set. And she said, although she was grateful for the opportunity that she was given, she felt objectified.
I mean, let's face it, she grew up with a father who won an Emmy for one of the raunchiest shows of the 80s. And I mean, Married with Children was a great show, but again, women hated that show, especially women of women with children, because it was the worst show ever. I mean, it drew like, at the time I was so young. I was probably like between 16 and 18 years old. And I remember thinking to myself, every time this show on, all the guys want to do is come over and lay around our house and watch together. Like, it was really weird. It was a creepy show.
And she felt that she was just there for her looks and nothing more, and that is why she left the show. Now, I think we can understand that. She does say that it gave her opportunities, it allowed her to pay for her healthcare, it allowed her to pay the bills, but all of us perhaps have taken on jobs that might have been seen as a stepping stone. There has been a backlash, though, from fellow cast members from Deal or No Deal.
Yes.
Claudia Jordan, who has said, this is not fair, this is not true, that everyone who was there as a briefcase girl was picked because of their outgoing personalities, and it has given them fantastic opportunities in their careers.
Huh.
Yes, I saw that feedback from some of the other briefcase girls, and it's interesting. Meghan just wants to always cast herself as the victim, no matter what has happened. And she's done another interview, this time with Variety magazine. She talked about the death of Queen Elizabeth II and her new documentary.
She was so rude to the family entirely. She tried to minimize the Queen's character. It was really quite shocking.
Tell us, Sarah, precisely what she had to say, and is there any prospect of the family?
It was the words she used. She used the words, "That's what that looks like." You couldn't have come up with something better.
Back together, Harry and
She obviously didn't have a prepared statement. Or maybe she did, and that was her prepared statement. And she did that on purpose.
Other royals mending the fences.
That is the million-dollar question, I think, Rita, isn't it? Yes, this is an interview and a cover shoot that Meghan has done with Variety magazine in the United States. Initially, she did the interview back in August.
Oh my God, and can we talk about this? So there's a tribe in Africa that women wear these, but stacked, and it's in an attempt to stretch their necks. When I saw this, I immediately thought of that African tribe. Let me know what your thoughts are in terms of that, because I saw that another creator did a video of this particular variety cover, and he did a side by side of one of those tribal members with the necklaces that are used to stretch their necks, and they never take those things off. So it's really sad that she's like, I mean, I get what she's trying to do. She's trying to say, okay, I'm Black as my African roots, but it's not lost on me that she's trying to channel an African tribe.
And then she did the interview after the death of the Queen to reflect on that.
That's really weird,
too.
too.
Interesting lines. I don't think it gives the royal family anything to worry about in this interview, particularly compared to what we might have seen in the past. But there are a few interesting points. She talks about the Queen being a shining example of female leadership and how grateful she is for the warm relationship that she enjoyed with the matriarch of the family. But when she's asked about the aftermath, the days after the Queen's death, she describes it as complicated. And she says, my husband...
I think that was the most honest thing that she could have said. And I really, truly believe that it's true. That she finally said something that was honest. It's complicated. That was the most honest answer she ever gave.
And Prince Harry, of course, ever the optimist.
But at the same time, you know, she sounds like an asshole.
Well, at least she's reunited with her husband now. The other point of note, I think, Rita, is Meghan in this interview appears to be distancing herself from the Netflix documentary series, the cameras that have been following Harry and Meghan for so long now, because she talks about entrusting someone else to tell our story. And that means it might not be the story we would tell.
So she's finally coming to terms, I feel like, with the fact that, like, you did what you did, you know, and now it's time to own it. Like, be glad that you did it, or, you know, like, whatever it is that you need to do, like, do it.
That's interesting because, their cameras are there only because of this couple. They didn't get there by accident. Now, to the series The Crown, I still haven't seen it. It's on my catch-up list, but it's getting a wave of criticism. Former PM John Major, the Queen's mother's biographer, and now Dame Judy Dench are among those who have criticised the latest series of The Crown. So John's saying the series is a barrel load of nonsense. The Queen Mother's biographer, William Shawcross, saying the show is odious and deliberately hurtful. And Dame Judy Dench has signed an open letter saying The Crown is crude and cruel. Now,
it's a story.
Up to the 1990s is that many of the figures involved are still alive and able to point out the storylines aren't entirely truthful. Jemima Khan, a former wife of Imran Khan, and joined the series as a co-writer last year to bring some accuracy to the storylines, particularly about her friend Diana, Princess of Wales. But she later asked for her name to be removed from the credits after discovering the show would, in her words, not be telling the full story and not being as respectful or compassionate as she hoped. A lot of people, Sarah,
I mean, it was rude. It was a rude story. You know, Diana was 19 and her husband was like, I mean, come on, I mean, what was anybody to do, right? What was literally anybody to do? Like, it was a scandal.
And I wonder if this latest series is going to cause a bit of damage.
Yeah, I think the heat is really on Netflix over this series of The Crown. And as you pointed out, Rita, the problem is that it's getting so much closer to the present day. And a lot of the protagonists are alive and don't like the way they're being portrayed, namely John Major, who, as you said, has described it as a barrel load of nonsense. Dame Judy Dench joining in the last few hours, writing a really strongly worded open letter to Netflix.
I mean, I get it. Camilla is what, 75 years old now? But you know what? You did it. You fucking did it. It's late. It's too late now to be sitting around going, oh, regretfully I did it, but I'm still the queen consort. I mean, it's done. You're done. It's done.
Calling for it to put a disclaimer on every episode, reminding people that this is a work of fiction and not historically accurate. And she says that needs to be done as a mark of respect for the Queen, because
that was a really good movie.
It's going to be really damaging. It is, of course, covering the 1990s, that incredibly turbulent decade where we saw the War of the Waleses, the marriage of the Prince and Princess of Wales breaking down, where we saw Princess Diana give that infamous panorama interview to Martin Bashir, and ultimately in 1997, the death of Princess Diana. And the timing of it difficult, coming just a matter of weeks after the Queen's death and the ascension of the King. And the theory is that the King, whose popularity has surged since he became king, that this will be damaging to his reputation because it drags up stories that the royal family would prefer to leave in the past. The royals can't say anything, and we're certainly not hearing anything from Buckingham Palace, although friends close to Prince William and sources close to him have said that he will be pretty uneasy and very uncomfortable and angry about the way in which his mother is being depicted for entertainment.
So I did see that William is very upset about what Harry has chosen to share about his mother's death and that the timing surrounding that era of events. And it seems like, I'm just going to throw it out there, it seems like Netflix is using Prince Harry and Meghan Markle as a front or a facade for a reality show of theirs, when the real reason that they've, become affiliated is because Harry is, low key giving them some added bonuses in terms of like what was life like when his mother died. And he would be the guy to do it. I mean, that's his mom, right? Let's not talk about the fact that they have basically told the world that they go to the In-N-Out when that's halfway from Santa Barbara to LA. But let me be honest with you. That In-N-Out is located directly across the street from the Church of Scientology. The Church of Scientology and Tom Cruise, I mean, we don't have to speak about that. But at the end of the day, let's not forget that Tom Cruise was recently at the Palace, right, in London, promoting whatever movie he's doing. And he had dinner at the Palace, okay? So, I mean, that's not a coincidence. Let's be clear here. The fact that Scientology could be auditing Prince Harry is, a pretty severe case of infiltrating, the palace. the Scientologist people. And I'm not saying, that this is true. I'm saying that from where I'm standing, this is what it looks like. It looks like the behavior of these people is kind of aligning pretty much with what the characteristics of the Scientology religion does. So, have they been seen maybe coming in and out of that building? I don't know. It's a really big building. I mean, it's a gigantic building, okay? Um, Also, it's been said that she hangs out at some hotel up there. I'm not sure of the name, but apparently, she likes to go there and like sit around there for hours on end. It's not a very cheap place to hang out at. I think it's in Santa Ynez, which is like adjacent to Santa Barbara. And I mean, from where I'm standing and what it looks like to me, it would behoove the rest of the entertainment industry to realize with real eyes what real eyes means, right? I mean, come on.
But we are starting to see friends of the royal family, Dame Judy Dench among them, rallying around and calling for Netflix to have a rethink.
And
Was the portrayal of King Charles.
What if I was right and we didn't find out for years to come, right? I mean, who's going to talk about it? We're talking freedom of religion. Although it can be said that Scientology is a cult.
Charles is going to be very interesting and, as you say, potentially very damaging. But I think the portrayal of the Queen is really what's going to upset people, because during that period after Princess Diana's tragic death, that's where
I feel like the Queen is innocent in everything. She's just a part of like the entire ensemble. There's not really much that she could have done. She was placed there, and it is what it is.
she did receive some criticism, some harsh criticism, I would say some unfair criticism.
Oh my God, woman. Old news. This is old news.
And depending on how Netflix handle that entire episode, I think people just are not ready to have the Queen misrepresented or maligned this close to her passing.
Yeah, and Rita, there are two other episodes within this series that are causing a lot of concern. There is the depiction of a conversation where Prince Charles tells his mother that she was so deficient as a parent that she ought to have been locked up in jail and her children sent to care. A conversation which everyone says absolutely did not happen, is entirely fiction, and is hugely damaging to be shown in this way. And also scenes which suggest an affair between the Duke of Edinburgh and family friend Penelope Knatchbull. And there is concern that this is just crass timing, that it is wrong, and that it is not fair to be doing this so soon after the Queen's death. And that is the point that Dame Judy Dench has been making, that not only does the royal family...
I don't know. I mean, it sounds good. It sounds bad. It sounds crazy, but it happened or it didn't happen, or sources say, regardless, it's a story and we're all here for it. So in any event,
like, but also the country doesn't want...
like and subscribe, guys. Thanks for